All right, today we are doing a tour of Frederick, Colorado. The news is I live in Frederick, Colorado, and I love to help people buy and sell in the area. So if you are looking to move into the Frederick area or move around the Frederick area, I would love to chat and help you. Now let's get on with the tour of Frederick. So what I'm going to do in this tour is just kind of show you around Frederick using Google Maps, show you where the schools are, talk a little bit about the schools, show you some of the highlights of living here in Frederick, and also we'll go over some fun events and things that happen in the area. So this is Frederick. You can see here it's along the I-25 corridor. There is one neighborhood here that is west of the 25 corridor. And this neighborhood is growing out and out. There's still building. It is Windham Hill, and it does have some great mountain views from this area, but it is a little further away from grocery stores and things like that. There is a school in the neighborhood though. I believe it is an elementary school. So as you can see, we call this the Tri-Town area. We have Firestone here and Dacono on this side of Frederick. You can see the boundary kind of switches in and out. So I love living here in Frederick. It's got that small town feel, but you're close to everything you need. So let's start and look at some of the restaurants in Frederick. So we have a few restaurants here, and some of these cross over to Dacono, and we'll look at those in the Dacono video, which I will do later. You see here we have Mirror Image Brewing, which is a great place to grab a pizza and beer. They have some really great craft beer. Santiago's is really good for quick burritos. I have to admit I haven't eaten anything but their burritos because you just go through the drive-thru and get like $2.50 burritos when you want them, but that's a great place to do that. This is I believe this is a new food truck that just moved into this area here, and I haven't tried them yet, but the menu looks delicious, and I know the high schoolers are going to love having them right there. Travel down this way, and this is downtown Frederick, one of my kind of favorite areas to hang out at. So down here we have Bashers. They have a few tables outside, but they mainly do kind of New York style pizza. I don't mind the pizza here, and they do deliver to your home if you want that. We have Mountain Cowboy Brewing Company, which you will find me at a lot. So you could kind of see the outdoor space here. They are a brewery, but they also roast their own coffee beans. So in the morning, you can go for coffee, and then later in the day, you can go grab a beer. And they do have some light snacks, things such as pretzels and grilled cheeses and things like that. So a great place to hang out. You might find a food truck there on Friday. Unfortunately, the restaurant that is coming up here, Butcher and the Blonde, just came up a minute ago. They moved out of that area. They are now just doing food truck and catering, which was a shame because they made delicious foods. Gabe's Cafe, good for breakfast and lunch. It is your greasy spoon type of breakfast place. That's how I see it. You can get burritos to go from here to, but your good old kind of breakfast foods and salads and sandwiches for lunch. Here on the corner, we have Edge Gourmet Street Kitchen and also Peel, handcrafted pizza. So the same people run it out of the same building. So you can get pizza there, you can get burgers. It is wood-fired pizza. It's good, and they have a bar in there as well. Georgia Boys, some delicious, delicious barbecue. If you're looking for really good barbecue, they have a bar inside there as well, but it's a great place to take the kids. And in summer, you can sit on the back patio here and look right out. Actually, here, they have a patio here and one in the back. The one in the back looks right over the playground, so the kids can play while you are eating. Tortilla Ruby's, not really a restaurant, but a great place to pick up tortillas for your dinner. And let's see, I think everything else is in that Firestone area. Yeah, switches over to Firestone. So we'll go over those in the Firestone video, but not far from Frederick, you have more eating options. So in the downtown area, I just went over those restaurants, but you'll also find Christ Park. And then a couple blocks over, you will find Centennial. And Centennial is where they have a lot of the festivals in Frederick. And we're going to go over those in just a bit, just talk about the festivals that you can catch in Frederick. But Centennial is also a great place to loop around. They have a trail, they have some fitness stations around. And over here, they have a shelter, toilet block. And when you do come to the events, you can park all over kind of this area. People park in these streets as well. Let's look at the schools in Frederick. Give you some insight into those. Okay, so we have Spark Discovery Preschool, which is kind of in the downtown Frederick area. They are part of the St. Vrain School District. St. Vrain School District has all the schools here in Frederick. We have had no problems with St. Vrain. My son is in there. It has been a great school district. You have Thunder Valley K through 8 here, which services people living in this kind of area. We have lots of little preschools kind of dotted throughout too, if you're interested in those. Frederick High School is over here. So that is our one and only high school in the Frederick area. My son is there right now. He's going into 11th grade. It has been a great experience so far. This used to be a Montessori school. They shut down and it is now being replaced by another preschool. I don't have a whole lot of information on that preschool, but that Montessori school is no longer there. Legacy is the elementary school that covers this area. And then we have Carbon Valley K to 8, which is a charter school. So they do things a little differently. I'm getting my tongue all tied up here. And then some of the more kind of public schools in the area. So those are your schools within Frederick. And then some of these neighborhoods within Frederick border up to Firestone schools as well. But those are the main schools here in the Frederick area. Like I said, so far we have had a great experience at these schools. Another great place to hang out in Frederick and walk some laps is Milavek Lake, which is right here. It gets tricky. Firestone on this side, Frederick on this side. So the Frederick recreation area here, you can walk around the lake. It's very pretty, especially sunrise and sunset times. You can also fish in that lake, although in summer you get a little algae problem that you may not want to fish in. But I have seen plenty of people fishing there. We also have the Frederick Skate Park, which is a great place for kids to hang out. They just built this in the past few years. It's been a great addition to Frederick. And I know my son has used it a couple times and loved it. So you have the Frederick Skate Park. And then if you're a golfer, you have 2 courses in the area to pick from. Bella Rosa is the Frederick course. So it is on this side. And then on this side, we have Saddleback. So you have 2 golf courses right next to each other, the Frederick and Firestone one. But those are your golf courses that are close to the area. We have little parks dotted all throughout, as you can see, neighborhood parks, Firefighters Park. This is a fun park. The fire station is right here, and I know the firemen have come out to play basketball with the teens. There's a basketball court there and a playground. So kind of a fun place for the kids to hang out. And then the Carbon Valley Rec Center is another area where people tend to gather. They have a pool, lazy river, slide, a kid's splash pad in there. And then you have your gym, and they do offer childcare as well. Workout classes, you can have parties there. There's all kinds of things that go on at the Carbon Valley Rec Center. If you're looking for a little Frederick history, you want to visit down this end of 5th Street through the 4th, 3rd, down to 6. These areas here have some of the original miner houses in them. So Frederick was a mining town. That's how it started. And some of the original Frederick mining houses are in this neighborhood. There is one here on the corner that is particularly fun. You'll see, I don't know what to call it, like a kind of like a little white amphitheater in the backyard. But that was one of the original boarding houses in the area. So kind of fun to look at the buildings and think about what they once were and then see what they are now. Like this Miss Amy's neighborhood and the barbecue place, Georgia Boys, they were all some of the original buildings as well. So kind of just fun to have a look. And you can get the History of Frederick book. There's a history museum in Skate Park, which is another fun place to visit if you enjoy knowing more about history. You kind of have to call them for them to meet you there. It's not open all of the time. We have our post office, an antique store, repair and tire there. Those guys are great with my car. I appreciate them so much. So you have that all in this little area. Okay, so now we're going to scoot over to the Town of Frederick website, and I am going to show you some of the events that we have here in town. I'm just trying to get to the Town of Frederick website, please. All right, let's click on this. So Frederick has a really nice website, easy to find. The GIS maps are in this area. If you're looking at the oil and gas and things that are going on, you can see that there. They have a new resident welcome kit that you can use. And then in this Living in Frederick area, you can find all the fun information. We also now have an app for Frederick, which you can find events and the GIS maps and all those things on there as well. So let's look at some of the fun things that we have going on. So we do a Memorial Day ceremony here in Frederick. That happens down in Skate Park, where they lay a wreath by the memorial that we have down there. So that can be a great way to honor right there. Chainsaws and chuck wagons, always a fun one. So this one happens usually in July. So this year you can see the dates there. It is a longer festival. And what happens is we have chainsaw artists come in and they create all kinds of works of art over those 4 days. There's entertainment, there's like quick cups where they then auction them off on the spot. It's just really fun, and I live kind of in the downtown area, so I love to go to Centennial in the mornings when it's quieter and just walk around and see what is becoming of each carver's wood piece. They just start with a huge trunk and then carve from there, so it's really cool to see. It's a great festival. We have Frederick in Flight, which just happened, so that one is balloons. There's hot air balloons all over Frederick during the warmer months and in winter as well. This one usually happens in June, so you can see we've just gone past with this one. Now this one you really have to check because they can cancel the early morning balloon liftoffs. They canceled 2 out of 3 days this weekend. So sometimes you don't want to get up at 5:50 or whatever to drive down there or walk down there and see that it's been cancelled. But that is another fun one that we have. We have Miners Day, which is unique to Frederick because that is celebrating our mining heritage. And with that one, we have a parade and then a big festival after the parade. So it is fun. There's also the burro race, so the donkey race there you can see. So that is always a fun festival, and like I said, unique to our town, which I think makes it even more special. We have Tiny Terror Town, which happens right before Halloween. That one is fun for the little kids and also for the big kids if you like to see kids getting dressed up. But basically there's a ton of booths that are handing out candy, so it's a safe way for your kids to trick or treat. And then they also have a dog costume competition that happens in that one. And they dress up the historical museum, making it all scary. So that one is fun as well. And then for Christmas, we have the Festival of Lights, which is a parade. And also they light up the big tree, which is in Christ Park, and ice carvings, hot chocolate. You can do carriage rides. There's all kinds of things that go on at that Festival of Lights. So those are kind of the fun things that we do here in town throughout the year. You can find those all on the Frederick website. So overall, I just think Frederick is a great place to live. And if you want to know more about Frederick or know more about the real estate market, I will be doing monthly updates starting in the next few days of the real estate market, so you can get an idea what is going on in Frederick. So I hope this was useful to you. If you need any more information, you can find my information below. Feel free to contact me, Hayley Bartlett with iGo Realty and a resident of Frederick. Hope you're having a fabulous day. See ya.